Hello everybody, this is Nick speaking. Welcome back to another episode of EU4 as Serbia. Today is going to be another episode of us, well, doing this sort of thing we call voiceover work because, well, apparently this person named Nick forgot to actually record audio and all of a sudden we're repaying loans and, yeah, we still have loans, lots and lots of loans, and inflation reduction guy, which gonna hopefully help us at least take care of the gold mine thing going on. But we do have our capital, which we're going to be pressing the button here, I believe, in just a little bit to actually move it, which surprisingly helps us a lot with the whole the money sort of, hey, we don't have enough of it right now, and this province has, they both have a crappy trade good, but you know, it's Constantinople, which has a center of trade and happens to also be Constantinople with tons of development. So it only makes sense that this should be our capital. So, hi capital, welcome. Welcome to the game as our new capital of Tsargrad, which, it's ours. This is already our capital. And it also was moved as our trading capital, and all of a sudden we're making like a ton of money, which, yeah, just doing that one simple move gives us now like 6 ducats a month, which is actually kind of crazy when we were just barely making, it just did like a whole bunch to kind of all of a sudden decide that, hey, let's do this and let's get a whole bunch of money for ourselves. So yeah, of course we do have things going on as far as other areas are going to start changing here because of that move, and rivals change and a whole bunch of different kinds of stuff because, yeah, there was some interesting sort of stuff going on at that point. But yeah, what I'm doing now is I'm looking around to try to see if I can actually find maybe some sort of way I could maybe try to eat the land off of Hungary. Well, you know, this guy named Austria is a little bit occupied with a war against France. So, yeah, I mean, being occupied in a war with France is kind of a little bit of a problem at this point because, you know, I mean, it's still France, but again, Austria is kind of a lot stronger in this game than they normally would be, and France is a little weaker, so I think actually it would come out about even, and here I am just trying to look for how can I actually get into this war with Hungary without bringing too many people in and causing myself a whole bunch of problems, which, yeah, it's not, let's just say it might be getting to the point where we're starting to lose out on options as far as what we're actually able to do here, because the people who would be able to help us around here normally are all kind of weak and not really going to be able to do much for us. So, yeah, I mean, it's very bizarre just getting all this kind of stuff going, and I'm actually just kind of like, what's really happening at this point? Am I really going to be able to finish this off or do anything here? Because apparently what's going to keep happening is that we're going to keep ending up in, like, stupid wars and stupid stuff and trying to expand in other directions, which isn't seeming to work out very well anymore for us. So I don't know really what I can do different at this point just to make myself do better here, but yeah, it's just like, okay, where exactly do I push into you as far as where can I actually, like, you know, it's just, it doesn't act, it just is weird. So anyways, what I'm doing here now is I'm gonna start, taking claims on like some of these other guys like Epirus and Crete and them, so that way we can at least have those claims out on the island, on those different OPMs and areas, just because we will need them, and they are important to us as well to get those provinces, because those are part of the, thing as well. But of course, it's kind of hard to put a core on Crete now, because, we don't have anybody in the same sea tile, because the only person that's there is Constantinople, or I should say Byzantium, because I have Constantinople. Yeah, those are two slightly different things right now. And yeah, see, and right now Austria would dishonor. It would mean just me versus Hungary and Ferrara, but Hungary has I think it's 40,000 troops or something like that. Yeah, it's not a small number, so yeah, that's the little bit of a problem here. Plus, I would be breaking a truce if I declare on them directly, which is also not a very good thing, because all of a sudden -3 stability. Because, who needs stability when you have no prestige and no legitimacy? So, yeah, still, wondering what can I do here, how can I actually take any of this, but yeah, it's not gonna be very interesting at this point, because don't really have much of a way to be able to get good alliances here. I mean, Lithuania would probably be one of the few I would still consider as far as actually having somewhat of a stronger ally, but even they are I don't know if they'd really be able to take on Hungary and yeah, so it's just I don't know, it's kind of hard to commentate stuff like this, so yeah, just me more checking wars and finding out Austria still doesn't want to get involved, but again, still true, so what does that really matter? And Austria actually getting sieged down by France, as well as England getting sieged down by France, which, doesn't really bode well for the people who are not France, and all of a sudden, hello, rebels in Dalmatia, because, yeah, they're not really gonna, really be able to do much here other than, just die to the rebels, and yeah, that's just kind of what goes on here, so, okay. Building some cannons, apparently, or one cannon, I suppose, because that seems to be all that I ended up building there, but, it's just one of these things where it's, the high place there thing, and, well, it just so happens that there is not really too much going on other than we're trying to find ways to get into wars against people who are in other wars, and the ones we need to lose the wars are actually doing very well in them, which also doesn't help, because it means that we're going to end up having absolutely more army, more everything that's going to be opposing us when we try to expand, which doesn't really help at all. And as you can see there, I mean, Austria did lose that to France, but Austria didn't really become weak to it. They stayed fairly strong, which also is a slight problem in that we know if they continue to stay strong that we're going to have problems with the whole thing where we want them to be weak, because then it's easier to take their land, which really does not seem to be happening at all. So I don't really know how much I am able to do at this point, other than, try to build an army up, see if I can find a good spot to at least strike in and try to make this thing happen, but at least at this point it's still not happening, so I really don't know what I can do to change that at this point, but yeah, it's just one of these things that is... And of course, me declaring on Ferrara now is not going to bring in Hungary. Me declaring on the TO will not bring in Hungary. But declaring on Hungary will still bring in Austria. So, yeah. It's a shame. Backdoors to get into war with Hungary now no longer exist, which means that we have no choice but to try to wait it out and see what happens. And waiting things out and seeing what happens is probably one of the harder things to actually do in this instance, because, you know, these wars are just... Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, just... I just kind of wish this ended up going a little bit different here, so we could actually, you know, do something with all of this rather than just sitting around doing nothing, trying to figure out how are we going to get anything done in this, because we have probably the two most powerful people in the world who we need to both kind of conquer parts of to actually get this achievement. And of course, Ottomans just lost more land, or gained more land from the Mamluks, which is even worse because guess what? Mamluks basically are gone at this point, which means Ottomans are going to get a little bit distracted now here with, you know, trying to actually go for other targets. And that might sound kind of bad, but, you know, there's only so much that can actually happen here, and, well, me trying to figure out at this point if actually just, you know, losing some money to move some manpower around would help a little bit more. It actually kind of enhances our province over here in Istria, but Istria kind of being on its own over there and kind of being one of the provinces that Austria would want, it probably makes a lot more sense that we are basically just going to ignore it and rather go ahead and let the other stuff happen as it should. So basically at this point it's like, okay, there's, you know, more loans, more everything other than what we actually want to happen. And, well, apparently I go and... Did I actually buy the trade guy? Yes, I actually bought the trade guy. Okay, so, yeah, basically, trade guy now exists because we have 5 billion diplomatic relationships, and, well, they're not really doing too much for us at this point, so... Yeah, and I don't know why that changed so much like that. I mean, I suppose it's because we had the extra advisor, but still, the tax dude should be making a little bit of money back for us in the other direction, so I don't know why it jumped as much as it did. And I mean, even at this point now, funding the army at full means that we can actually take care of things like killing Croatia's rebels here. Because, you know, Croatia deserves to have their rebels killed. And Austria still wants to help Hungary in a stupid war, which means, you know, there's not really anything we can do at this point with them, so yeah. And of course, Hungary will still dishonor everybody else, so that doesn't really matter. And, well, I suppose just truce is now gonna end. Means Austria and Hungary get their alliance back at some point here, and even we've got this thing called Epirus down here, which kind of exists in a way where we can go and say hi to the Ottomans and decide to maybe eat that one little province before they end up doing it, so we can kind of grow a little bit at least and get one province closer to the goal. Yeah, because right now we're not really much closer to this goal at this point, so yeah. Kind of weird looking around, seeing what else is going on the map. Lithuania actually still growing. They grew into Crimea a little bit down there, and Austria is obviously Austria, and Hungary would join them in a war, because, you know, it's Austria, but Hungary would also, who knows, because I didn't actually check that. Other than that, I mean, looking around, Pope's allied with Austria. People are allied with Austria. Austria's stupid. Rival Ottomans, because Austria's stupid. No, rival Ottomans. Yes, Ottoman rival. Hungary and the Pope. 3 rivals, all of which we're probably never going to be able to take care of anything about. And then Byzantium gives us this little offer of, hey, can we be your little march? We want to be a march. I really want to be a march, because marches are awesome. And so here I am going and actually checking the achievement and seeing how far I am on progressing towards that to see if it's worth making them into a march, because we may or may not have to annex them later, which actually we have to annex them to be able to get this achievement. That it can't be owned by a vassal, so we'll just keep that between you and me for now. But, you know, then, you know, that's more of a hindsight thing, because at the time I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know if that actually does it or not, and I don't really want to risk it as much as I need to get this achievement. But at the same time, you know, Byzantium has all of those cores here, which, you know, them having those cores is kind of, you know, gonna help us a little bit in actually eating the Ottoman land. So we do have to eat Bulgaria ourselves, but, you know, that's a little small price to pay to be able to get a vassal like Byzantium who can, you know, take pretty much all the rest of the European land that we need outside of Croatia and Bulgaria. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of a bittersweet thing, and I do kind of wish I could do that a little bit differently, but hey, idea group, and if I remember right, I don't take the economic idea here, but I do take the defensive idea, which, or no, maybe I do take the economic idea. Never mind, I thought I took the other one. I guess I got that complete. No, because, no, it does makes sense, because yeah, I did end up getting the idea for, actually no, I didn't do that this yet, but the next idea after it is inflation reduction, which basically means we don't really have to worry so much about having the gold mine anymore, because we're going to be making enough money on it that it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's kind of a good problem to have, but at the same time, hey, look, you're still existing, and we want to eat your face, because eating your face is important. And, well, things like Hungary or Ferrara, because Ferrara will still call in Hungary, but Hungary has like 32,000, and we can't really match that, and nobody will help other than Wallachia. So that doesn't really do much for us, which, as much as I want to actually have it do something, it means literally nothing at this point. Literally none of this means anything at this point, because guess what? We're basically kind of backed into a corner here, and it's just kind of not really looking good for us at this point. So I suppose, I mean, yeah, we have to do something kind of, or expect something kind of halfway insane to go on here to be able to remotely do anything with the war at this point. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to assess what can I actually do, what can I not do, and I seem to be doing that a lot this episode. Do I go to war? Do I not go to war? Do I try to take care of the whole Hungary thing? Do I need to declare on the Ottomans? Can I declare on the Ottomans? Would anybody help me against the Ottomans? Or and it's like I just keep going back and forth, and can I do this? Can I not do this? It's a very sticky situation to be in, and I don't know how exactly I'm going to do it at this point, but yeah, I mean, here I am thinking about still considering let's declare on Hungary, but, not good. Totally not good at all, and their army is repairing already, so it makes it even a worse idea, because all that's going to happen is Hungary's going to get stronger, Ottomans are going to get stronger, and because I can't really do anything, how am I supposed to get stronger? It's just one of these things. I'm kind of stuck here a little bit, so I'm sure there's probably some sort of way out of all of this, but exactly what that is, I have no idea, and I'm almost thinking that it's time to start thinking about what can we do to actually expand, because there's not too much area here left to expand, which sounds kind of crazy, but because of where I'm located, how am I supposed to expand anywhere from this? Because all that's going to happen is I'm going to lose wars against this stuff, and it just doesn't seem like what I'm doing is going to get us any further at this point. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe I do need to take a chance, try to get a war, see if I can get as many allies as possible into it. Maybe even definitely Spain needs to be in, and who knows, maybe that alliance with Lithuania would actually be the thing that helps me here, but hindsight is easier to always figure out than actually being there at the time, because looking at it afterwards, I can always say, oh, that's the thing I should have done, not this thing, So, but yeah, I mean, these are the only 2 episodes I really was able to record at the time, so after this one, we actually don't have another episode of us actually getting to a point where we are going to be doing much of anything as far as the voiceover work, so it means next episode when I come back, I will be doing live commentary again. However, it's going to actually be recorded after this, so I do kind of know what I'm been talking about here. So anyways, let's not look at this because I'm about to do something stupid and reverse back to where I am basically right now. So anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!